So in today's video, what we're going to talk about is getting booked or securing some sort of deal, basically getting hired. Because at the end of the day, that's what an artist do. They get hired to perform at a venue, and we call it getting booked. So if you're an entrepreneur, this is going to be very relevant to you if you were to get hired or someone contract you for a particular business, as well as an artist who's looking to get booked for a show. This video is very, very relevant for you. What I want to do is talk about a couple of ways you guys can go about getting that done and getting these deals, because I know it's hard. It is definitely hard and can be quite difficult to secure gigs right now, especially as we're dealing with COVID-19. It's extremely hard because the money isn't there. A lot of venues are closing. Depending on what kind of product you sell, maybe people aren't buying the product. There was one point in time where barbershops was closed, and nail salons and restaurants. All these places were closed, so no one was making any money. People were out of jobs and whatnot. So I know it can be kind of hard right now, depending on the industry that you're in. But I'm gonna let you know that even though it's hard now, it has to get better. If you think about it, anything that we've gone through as a society, and I'm not gonna get all political and economic and all of that. I ain't gonna get into all of that right now. But I will say that anytime there was a dip in something, we always bounce back. There's always a bounce back. Okay, even though you can't get booked for shows right now and you can't secure certain deals, there's things that you can still do now to prepare yourself for when things open back up. Okay, I don't want you guys to sit idle. There's things that we can do now to make sure we keep our name and faces out there, so that way when things start getting back to somewhat normal, we will be ready. So as they say, don't get ready, stay ready. This is what this video is about. I want you guys to stay ready, okay? One thing I want you to think about is none of this stuff happens overnight. Getting booked for shows and everything, that doesn't happen overnight. And it's simply because it requires work, okay? It requires work. Now, it's I know that it's easy to do what it is that you do. Recording videos, this can be easy for some. It's not for me, but we ain't gonna get into that. But recording videos can be viewed as easy. Going into the studio and recording a song can be viewed as easy. Going to the art store and buying a canvas and painting some art, that's easy. But booking a gig, that's not. It requires work outside of the work that you do. It requires an effort. All right. I remember there was this artist that I was working with, and he had told me, he said, "Yo, Patrice, I want to get into acting." I said, "Okay, that's cool." Have you done acting before? Have you been on the scene? Have you, booked any, have you been around some actors? Took class? Nah. I was an extra on a couple of TV shows. That's about it. But I stopped doing that. I said, "Why did you stop? If you want to act, why did you stop, being an extra on TV shows, like TV shows on Fox and, NBC? And then why did you stop?" "Well, I wanted a featured role and I couldn't get a featured role. I wanted a feature or speaking to have some lines or something." I said, no. You actually have to, you have to be out there on the scene. I mean, being an extra is a step in the right direction. You don't walk away from that, because you just never know. Like we talked about in the networking video, you just never know who you may meet in these environments. No, you have to get yourself back out there. And this leads me to the first thing I want to address. One thing you guys got to do, in order to get booked or get opportunities, you actually have to get out here and get involved. You have to be involved in the scene. If you want to be in music, you have to be involved in the music community. If you want to act, you have to be out here in the acting world. If you're selling a product, you have to be where your customers are at. You have to be involved. People like to work with people that they are familiar with. All right. And on top of that, people want to see that you're actually active. They want to see that you're active, that you're on the scene. This is not a hobby for you. You ain't playing around. This is something serious. They want to see that, and like I said before, they want to work with people that they're familiar with. And when you out here networking and getting involved in the scene, it exposes you to different people to connect with and network with that you would have not been exposed to before. Perfect example. I flew out to LA. This was an expensive trip, and I've been out there a couple of times, okay? For the ASCAP Expo. I love that expo. I highly recommend it for musicians, composers, artists, songwriters. When things get back up and going, definitely consider going to ASCAP Expo when they relaunch it, okay? I remember going to that event, that conference. I was in there. A woman got up, asked one of the panelists a question. I loved her question. It was about artist development. I went up to her after the panel and I said, "Hey, I loved your question. I'm from Chicago. I teach at, blah, blah, blah. I feel like, there's not enough people out here doing artist development. Da, 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 da." She said, "Yeah, you know what? I'm from Chicago too." I said, "For real?" "Yeah. She said, "I'm out here in LA, but yeah, my family's in Chicago." I said, "Oh man." Come to find out, she is the artist development coach for a lot of superstars that we know. She was a judge on, was it Chasing Destiny with Kelly Rowland. She was a judge on there. Mind you, I did not watch that show. I did not know who this lady was. And on top of that, she's worked with Janet. She also sung back in the day. She was the singer on a Heavy D song that I know of and very familiar with. She's also the coach. She coached Lil Nas X. And all I did was walked up to her and talked about her question. So I told her, we had a good brief little conversation. We exchanged information. And I told her, if you ever in town, I would love to have you come speak at my school. She said, "Oh, for sure, for sure." And sure enough, about a couple months later, she was in town. And we was able to bring her into the school to speak to the students. And that's still a relationship that I have now that we continue to foster. Like I said, I would have not have met her if I was not involved in the scene. We were at an event in LA. It was a music event. So that's what I'm saying. People want to work with people that they were familiar with, and they also want to see you involved and active. She saw me active. Now she's familiar with me. So now we can continue this relationship on social media, as opposed to some of you guys are just reach out to people in their DM and expecting the world. But like I said, people like to work with people that they're familiar with. So you have to get familiar, and you do that by getting involved. If there's someone that you want to network with, find out where they hang out, find out the events that they're going to be at. Sometimes these people, they speak on panels. Go to the panels, go to the conferences and meet with them. Talk to them. They want to see you face to face sometimes. So it's okay to do that. But whatever it is, get involved. Okay, no matter what it is, get involved. The second thing, document everything. Make sure you document every single thing. It's not about what you ate that day. It's not about, what you got on, even though I know a lot of people like to, post pictures of their clothes. That's cool if fashion is your lane and that's what you're trying to do. What you want to document is your experience. Okay, when I was at ASCAP Expo, I was on my stories. Everywhere I went, I was taking stories. I was taking pictures. I took pictures of my badge. I was tweeting what some of the panelists were saying. I was using the hashtag. I was involved. And on top of that, I was documenting everything. That led to me building other relationships with other people who were at the event because they were using the same hashtag. Using the event hashtag, that opened up more networking opportunities, right? And also it's showing the people that are following you, they showing that you are truly involved in this industry, and also documenting everything makes for really good social media content, so wherever you go, document everything, because like I said, people want to work with people that they're familiar with. People want to see that you're active. Okay. Third thing is to get an EPK. It's called the EPK, which stands for Electronic Press Kit. This is what artists use. Now, if you're an entrepreneur and you're working If you're not an artist, what you need is I shouldn't even say if you're an entrepreneur, because artists, you are entrepreneurs. So if you're not a musician, let me say that if you're not a musician or in the music industry, what you need is a media kit. I personally have a media kit because I'm not a musician. My media kit is basically your resume. An EPK is your resume as an artist. Your media kit is your resume as a whatever it is that you are. That kit should include your bio. It should include some professional photos. It should definitely include some videos if you have them. This could be videos of you performing, rehearsing, music videos. This could be videos of you speaking at a conference. If you were on a panel, you certainly want to include those videos as well. People want to see that you're actually, doing things, and they want to see how you talk and how you come across on video. You also want to document your accomplishments in there. Anything that you've accomplished, certainly put that in there. Last year, I was awarded the Mentor of the Year award for 2019 at SAE Institute. That's something that I put in my media kit. It's also in my bio. That's an accomplishment, because it ties into my brand as an educator and mentor and coach. You also want to include press links. Certainly want to include press links. If any media outlet covered you, you certainly want to include that as well. All right. You also want to include, if you're an artist, any past or upcoming shows that you have. You certainly want to put that in there to show that you have been performing consistently. And last but not least, include your social media so people can go online and check you out and maybe connect with you. Now, some people will include their social media numbers. That really depends on if you have a very substantial following. All right. And you're trying to gain opportunities as an influencer because you have, 20,000 followers or whatnot. Certainly include that. But if you're not an influencer and your numbers aren't that high, just include the handle. Just include your social media handle and leave the following count out. Leave that out. The format of this EPK, I've seen quite a few, but the most the most common are a web-based version and there's a print/PDF version. I personally like the web-based version. Basically what it is just a one-page website with all this information listed on it. I like it because I can easily text it to somebody, email it to somebody, and they can pull it up on their phone. Since it's web-based, you can easily put videos in there, embed a video, and they could click it and play it and whatnot. I mean, it just makes life super simple. Whereas a PDF, that file, if you embed videos in a PDF document, it can get very heavy. It can be hard to email. You may have to send it as a file link and all kind of stuff. It's like, look, just put it on a single page website and call it a day. But however, I recommend that you have both, okay, just in case, because some outlets want a PDF, whereas some just want a link. So have both, so that way you don't have to hurry up and design something last minute. Have both and cover yourself. So like I said, get involved, document everything, and get your EPK or your media kit done. Don't wait to start. Do this now if you haven't already. What I want you guys to do, if you're trying to come up with this content to put in there, think about what you've done in the last 2 years. Not when you were born, not when you were in grade school. Think about the last 2 years. People want to see what you've done recently, okay? The stuff you've done in the past, you can talk about that if you were to get a meeting. That's some good conversation. But on paper, on this press kit, think about, you want to document the stuff that you've done most recently. And I would say go back at least 2 years. No matter how small it is, jot it down. Then think about if it was documented or not. Do you have video? Do you have some kind of footage? Was there people in the audience there that took footage of you? Whether it was on a camera phone or what? Did they post it on social media? If they did, go grab that. Go strip it from the internet and have it in your arsenal. Have that file, because you never know how you can use it. All right. You can use it for a promo reel and whatnot. So if it was documented, grab that information and include it in your EPK in some kind of way. So go ahead and do that. If you guys already have one design, certainly come back, drop a comment with the link to your press kit so we all can check it out. I hope this was helpful. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next video.